and welcome to the Professional Business Connections. I'm Laura Viskovich, and I have a really exciting story to share with you today. Toni Cox Photography has created an amazing business through a different way of generating leads. So welcome to the show, Toni.
Thank you.
So tell me, how did you get into photography?
Well, my first granddaughter was born, and I was taking her to, I won't name the place, a photography place, chain in a mall, where I would get her pictures done. And I like to do it at 4 months and at 8 months and at a year old. And I was spending $150, $160 for 6 pictures. And then I had 2 more grandkids, and I'm going, I can't afford this, and I think I could do this. So I had my first digital camera, 3.2 megapixel, and I started taking pictures of my grandkids, and I wanted to get better. So I started taking classes, and more classes, and seminars, and going to Slick, and it just snowballed. And I originally was only going to do it for my grandkids, and then my kids' friends wanted pictures, and their friends wanted pictures, and it just snowballed. And I got so busy doing pictures for everybody we knew that I didn't have time for my day job, so I quit, and I started my own business.
What an amazing story. That gets me so excited. So you've got this business from a hobby, and now it's your full-time career. How do you generate leads into your business?
Well, I started only with Facebook. I would post a picture every day with Facebook. I'd pick a day, and you know, people would come and they would like it, and they would request how much it was, and you know, things that I do, and that was okay for a while. And then it just kind of mellowed out. I was on weddings.com trying to get business, was on weddings.com for a full year, and had not gotten one lead that followed through, not one. And then somebody invited me through weddings.com to a meeting. And so I went to the meeting, and it was a BNI meeting. I'd never heard of it before. And I sat through the meeting, and they were talking about how much each seat was worth and how I'd be the only photographer there. And I thought, okay. And I went home, talked to my husband about it. He said, sounds like a cult. And I said, if it sounds like a cult or not, I'm going again, because I couldn't believe all of the business they seemed to be passing from each, you know, from person to person. I was a little afraid of all of the rules and regulations, how many referrals you're supposed to bring and how many visitors you're supposed to bring and all this stuff. I thought, what if I can't do that? I am coming in contact with just family after family instead of all these groups of people. But I told my husband, you know what, I'm going to go again. I'm going to check it out. For the same price I was paying for weddings.com, I could pay for it at BNI and do it for a year. And so I joined. Within the first 6 weeks of being in BNI, I got my membership fee back in business. First 6 weeks.
Wow.
It was great.
That is sensational. So I'm guessing a lot of people go to visit a chapter to see if it's suitable to them. And you've had such a great experience. So do you have any tips and tricks of someone out there who's never done any networking and wanting to maybe visit a chapter? What would your tip be? I
would recommend going to more than one chapter, but when you go to the chapter, see if there are other people in the chapter that are a good fit for your business. I would love to have, say, an event planner in our chapter. We don't have one, and I'm still doing great, but maybe a wedding planner, a reception center owner, somebody who we could pass it back and forth often. Look and see if there's a chapter that, you know, has more people that fit your group, but don't let it stop you if they don't.
Fantastic. Would you think that maybe feeling the energy of the group would be ideal?
Definitely. Definitely. When you go in and you see the energy, some of the BNI chapters have different energies than others, and I really like the chapter that I'm in. It's worked really well.
So BNI Utah North, what is your chapter?
Sterling chapter.
Fantastic. And you've been in that chapter for how long?
I have been there for 2.5 years.
Okay, fantastic. So do you have a dollar figure or a percentage of business that is generated through BNI?
So the first year I was in BNI, you know, I had only been doing it through Facebook. So I didn't have that large of a business to start with. So it probably, you know, the first year only went up maybe $5,000 or something. It wasn't a lot. Second year, it increased, my business increased 40%, which was, I mean, it was astronomical. And everybody kept telling me, if you think it's good now, wait till your third year. And I'm like, it's good, how can it get better? But it was like my third year ticked by and my business has exploded. 50 to 60% of my business now is through BNI. And I am so busy now going into my third year. It was a few months ago. It's crazy how busy it is.
Wow, that is sensational. So I guess I'm dying to know, like, what is your secret sauce in this BNI adventure? Like, what's the secret to it all? Is it relationships? Is it?
You know, I think it's a little bit of everything. It takes a while when you're in BNI to gain that trust. So you have to do your one-on-ones and whatnot, your meetings, kind of to get to know people better. And one thing I've always done in my meetings is said, I'm not trying to sell to you. I want you to know what I do and tell people you hear out there that are looking for a photographer. I don't want all of my customers to just be my BNI group. I want my customers to be the people they know, their customers, and to share it like that. And it really seems to work that way.
Fantastic. So how do you let the members and the guests know what it is that your business does? Like, how do you market, I guess, to a group of these people?
Well, there's a 45-second presentation in the starting chapter every week, and so we get up and we talk about our business and mostly what we're looking for, what type of businesses we're looking for. Say a social media package. If I'm offering a social media package, I let all of the people in my chapter know what it is I'm offering, how much it's going to be, and whatnot, so that when they're out with their customers and doing their jobs, if they hear somebody say, oh, I just really need new pictures for my website, they'll go, hey, Toni can do that, and then they know to recommend me.
Fantastic. So let's just say I'm a guest coming to your chapter for the first time. Give me your pitch.
Okay, so I would let you know that I photograph people.
Okay.
People are my favorite. I specialize, I do wedding photography, family photography, newborns, birth. In the families and the newborns, those are my favorite. That's where my specialty is. Since my kids are all grown up, I know what pictures I wish I had of my kids when they were little. I know which ones I look at and they tug at my heartstrings. So when I am doing a photography session with a family, I get the smiles that mom wants, but I also try to catch between the posed pictures the looks that the kids, when they look at their mom with that love, or something that the mom's doing, I try to capture that love or that cute little look on the kid's face that these young parents now don't know they're going to miss that look, but when their kids grow up, they'll look at that picture and go, oh, I remember when they did that. That's what I try to get.
That is beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm going to refer to you for sure. So anyone out there who's new into networking, what would your networking tip be?
My networking tip would be to watch and learn, and with BNI they walk you through it. They hold your hand, they teach you what to do. It has increased my networking so much. Now that I'm in BNI, I go to some of their First Fridays, and what are those called? The chambers. I go to some of the chamber meetings, and I had tried chamber meetings before I was in BNI. They did nothing for me. It was a waste of my time, and still there are 500 of the same profession at every meeting you go to. And that's one thing that I really like about BNI is my chapter, I'm the only photographer. So everybody, if anybody's thinking photographer for anything, they go, hey, let's talk to Toni and see if she can do that. And so that's what I like the best about that.
So Toni, you mentioned before that you have a lot of visitors coming to see the chapters. So what's the benefit of a visitor attending?
Well, visitors, when they come, they get to meet all of the different people from all of the different, so we've got the tradespeople, we've got all of the different professions there. And whether they join BNI or not, they get business cards. They can take whatever business cards they want. And I don't know that I've ever seen a visitor attend one of our meetings that didn't walk away with a referral. Generally, when visitors are invited, it's because we need that profession in our chapter. And if we need that profession, it's because we have people that are looking for that service. And so we can usually give leads.
Fantastic. Well, Toni, thank you so much for coming today. Your stories have just been an absolute inspiration to people out there. So thank you so much. That's Toni Cox Photography, and thank you so much for watching the show today. I'm sure you've written down some tips and tricks, and I'll see you on the next show of the Professional Business Connections.